Good morning, everyone. This is MDB, Modified Darvas Box, and it is time for another weekend review. It is Sunday, December 8th, almost 10:10 a.m., and a lot going on. Basically, another big week in the market, very bullish. There's a couple of signs which are showing up, which are a smidge worrisome. But you know what's funny? A lot of people are beginning to overanalyze and focus on the daily or intraday wiggles and jiggles. But the thing is, there aren't really very many signals on larger time frames to, you know, which I would consider to justify that at selling your winning positions and getting defensive and all that. So it'll be interesting. When we get into these charts, you'll see what I mean. If you can sit and let things happen, you probably do better than the average person who's studying it like with a microscope. Because the one problem is when you're out and it keeps going, well, then it's really tough to get back in. Uh, and that's why if you're going to be a trend follower, you got to sit with the trend and ignore the small stuff until you get the big signal. When the big signal occurs, yeah, then it'll be time to change. But until then, you might want to just maybe turn off your computer. Turn off your computer, you'll do much better. So it'll be interesting when we see stuff. I've been a little under the weather. I was away on business in the Virginia, DEC area, and I've got an ear infection. And so I'm sort of holed up, doing nothing, just working on getting better from that. And yeah, we'll get into it. There's not a lot of earth-shaking stuff to share, but you'll see. Okay, for anyone who's never watched any of my videos, I'm an independent trader, investor. I've developed my own unique trading system based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. And then I've also added other elements from like the strategy and some other ones and all that. But the whole core of it is identifying bases or boxes, and then when they break out, and that's when trends occur. And what I want to do is I want to try and buy those trends and then sit in the trend for as long as possible. And what's great is volume, I believe, plays a big part in the decision making, and the more volume, the better. So, hopefully you'll see what I mean if you've never watched one of the videos. Also, I use colors where I color the bars. I've got different coding for different circumstances. That's how I create signals. And signals, when I see a valid signal, a valid trading signal on the chart, then I sit up and I wonder, how should I trade it? But that's the great thing about signals. You get to see them in advance. You don't have to decide on the spur of the moment. That's how bad decisions are made. And the whole thing about a signal is the signal makes you sit up and get prepared. And the reaction to the signal is actually when you're going to pull the trigger and hit the buy or sell button. And a lot of times you can get a signal, but the reaction is muted. So what happens? No trade. So we see the signals, we trade the reactions. That's basically the point I want to make. Okay, I've got 6 different stock lists here, and I constantly move stocks around. But for these videos, we're going to do the top 4, and I always start with indexes. So let's get into it. Okay, MLP index. Look at that box breakout. There's the box range. There's the breakout 3 weeks ago. And now it's come in a little bit with a light gray. That's an inside bar. Inside bars are inherently 50-50 but they are valid tradable scenarios. You either buy it if price goes up the top, or you sell it if price breaks down on the bottom side. So simple, 50-50. And as a trader who's been doing this, who placed his first trade in 1995, I try and avoid taking straight up 50-50 bets. I want to raise my probabilities of winning if I want to trade. Get the probability as high as you can. What do we got here? ARC. Okay, ARC is on here because it's interesting to see if Kathy Wood ever makes a dime, but also it's got a lot of color signals. So I really use it as a color signal example. But look here, you've got the box breakout. How many weeks back was that? 3, 4, 5 weeks. Then a lot of selling here, but what's happened? Demand has continued to come into the market. And that's why you don't just knee-jerk sell on the first red bar. You got to see what happens, signal, well, light signal, but then here's that reaction. All of the price kept going up, kept going up. Once you feel like a jerk if you sold here, then you'd be scrambling and maybe have a lot less good position if you bought elsewhere. As far as the colors for signals, yellow bar, bullish signal, and then there's the reaction. Blue, bullish signals with a bullish tilt. Many times you get a red pullback, but like it's shown here, not always, because we're in the market. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. Pink bars are the opposite of blue bars, where blues have a bullish bent, pinks have a bearish bent tilt to it. Light grays, yeah, inside bars, right here, you see it there. Inside bars show up a lot. And then lastly, the orange bars, hammers and shooters. Hammers are bullish, shooters are bearish. Look at these reactions. Down, 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 up, up, up. And the thing is, on all these signals, when you get a contrary reaction, like you get a negative signal, but then price takes out the high of the signal bar, well, that's a contra sign. That means, yeah, it was a bearish signal, but with a bullish reaction, buy it. You want to buy the top of that. Same with these bullish bars. If that's bullish, then price crashes, you sell it here at the bottom of that bar. Easy, huh? Okay, now let's really study. So oil. Okay, this is actually a little worrisome sign. The BZJ is a proxy for oil, and all we've got is a long, continuous downtrend. And what's interesting is it makes me wonder if the economy, this new economy we're in, if it's so great, why is it not broadening out and demand for oil going up? In fact, lessening demand for oil could be construed as bearish and almost recessionary. So that's something that's a little concerning, and we'll want to keep a closer eye on this. Because, maybe, if there's turmoil in the Middle East, why isn't oil going up? If there's tons of oil, Trump drill, well, okay, maybe that's contributing to it. But it's interesting. Maybe it's just because we don't need as much oil. Why? Economic activity is lessening. And you won't see that based on the Oracle or PLTR stock price, a recession, but that's just something to keep aware of. Okay, NASDAQ composite. All right, look what we got. We got a 1, 2, 3, 5 weeks ago, we got the election box breakout. Some big selling here. Boy, you'd feel like a jerk if you sold out on that, huh? And then an inside bar, and bullish has continued. And in the meantime, this formed another mini box because I require a minimum of 3 bars inside of a box range. It hit the minimum right here, and boom, new bull market. Or not new market, but new breakout. So if you missed number 1, hopefully you got a number 2. Had number 1, number 2, like kids, except the opposite. These are good ones. But yeah, look at that. Big volume showing here. Breakout. Technology is definitely very bullish. Ethereum. Okay, look at that. Here is a bearish shooter signal, and here is the bullish contra signal to that. How do you know when this signal is a failure? When price hits up here. That was your trigger to get long, because you got to be prepared both ways. You see a signal, I'm expecting down, but I'm also prepared for up. And when you're prepared for 2 different directions, then when one hits, you're not surprised, and you can then take action. Now, I'm not interested in Ethereum, but Yeah, what a comeback, huh? Went all the way down here, now back to the top of the box range. I never really thought it would get back here, but color me surprised. Uh, FFTY, proxy for growth. Yeah, look at that. And we got a bullish signal here, right there. So interesting. More bullish signs among growth stocks. China, there's a bearish signal. It triggered down. Uh, Bigger bearish signal right here. Nothing's going on in China. If you have money in the China sector, you might want to consider taking it out. I mean, maybe it turns around as a long-term thing, but I don't see any action on it right now. Gold, you had your bear signal right here. It dropped for 2 weeks straight after, and now it's sort of eased up and it's just going sideways. See right here, two inside weeks in a row. That means price is getting tight. Many times traders on Twitter will say the price is getting tight. No, price is not tight. It's only tight when you have inside bars, multiple inside bars. That is tight. Because remember, these are two valid trading signals in a row. When the bars are inside, and sometimes you go 3 or 4, that means, get ready, be prepared. You don't know which way it's going to go, but gold is basically, going sideways and consolidating, getting tight. High yield bonds, nothing crazy. So long as these aren't crashing down, we're all good. Kind of reflects the bull market run we've had here, Came out of this massive big box and now created a new one going sideways. Insurance, yeah, little breakout and then a little pullback here, but still box breakout. What is this? Bitcoin. Bitcoin keeps going higher. There's your inside bar. Remember, don't panic on the first reaction. Don't panic. Let it form. And now we know. And look what it did. It formed an inside bar, and it resolved to the bull side. That's how you stay long in trends for multiple weeks. There were many Bitcoin people who, after it closed up here, it was down, and they thought that was the end of the world. No, it wasn't, but you got to give it time. Software keeps marching higher. There's that yellow bar buy signal right here. Little scare right here, but a lot of volume. But how stupid do these people think? Man, I sold my software 3 weeks and now it's higher. Don't sell until you get the valid signal. I mean, you could have sold out right in here, but it wasn't really there for longer than a nanosecond. So sometimes you got to just be flexible and be like, well, make it prove it. What do I have? ITB housing, sideways. Little down action, but sideways. And really, I'm looking for outliers. I'm looking for signals. So we had the signal here. We had the bearish reaction here. Yeah, it's up on this, but nothing crazy. Look at the volume on that. Interesting. An inside bar, but with volume. That's microcaps. So a little bit of cracks. IWM, who cares? Box breakout, but then the contra. When you get volume, green, red like that, when they're tied together, that usually means like, yeah, your breakout, oh yeah, your breakout's going to slow down. Not necessarily, but indications are, IYH. Well, yeah, the CEO of United Health was murdered. So yeah, I guess people are getting a little upset at health insurance. I don't know what's going wrong here, but health insurance seems to be lagging big time, or healthcare, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, if you make it too expensive, maybe, I don't know. I really don't. Transports. Okay, this is a little bit of a worrying sign. Bearish. But again, the reactions, the market is trying to make up its mind back in here. It made up its mind here, broke out, but then immediately an inside bar, then went to a bullish bar, bullish, and now thump. So this can't, I interpret this as can't make up its mind. Are transports good or are they struggling? I don't know. Overall bullish, but not easy. Equal weighted NASDAQ. Yeah, it's been going up. That makes sense. The QQQ is matching the NASDAQ itself. Mini box with a box breakout. The only thing that concerns me is the volume is still light. Where's the volume? Where's the buyers? How come it's not a big bar like right here? RSP. Just marching up, a little volume selling here though. Interesting. Short-term rates going. They're not climbing, so they're sort of hanging in there. I think a lot of that macro stuff is on edge, waiting for Trump to get into office. I mean, I don't know, but we're in a transition, I think. Semiconductors. Look at that. The white bar sell signal. It peaked all the way back here. A pink bar, pay attention. But in the end, it's simply gone sort of sideways. Not really up, but not really down. S&P keeps climbing higher. SPYs keep climbing higher. Sentiment. Okay, sentiment. Sentiment took a cliff dive here this week. People are getting nervous, huh? Stocks, what is that? Above the 200-day? That looks fine. Stocks above the 40-day took a little of a dive here. So interesting. So we can see that, yeah, indexes went up, but overall in the market, prices went down. Isn't that interesting? So the market's getting a little concentrated again. Is it getting a little bit? If this keeps diving with the indexes going up, then we might need to get a bit more worried. The tan, solar, box breakdown here, little tried to rebound, and nope. And now the bulls here are fighting it. This is going down. Great ETF solars. If you're looking for hedges or shorts or whatever, find it here. Sell the bad stuff. Sell the weak. Don't short against the strong. Are you crazy? TLTs, bonds went down, but now they've had a couple of rebounds here, so that means it's time to draw a box. Now it's going sideways. We've got a box range. Isn't that interesting? Buy bonds here. No, I want to sell them. Then it sort of comes up, and now a bunch of signals as they sold bonds, but then they may have hit a bottom here at the moment. But again, the volume. No, we think bonds are bottom. Yeah, no, we don't think so. And now volume sort of. They're waiting for more data, basically. This is interesting. The VIX. What a crash in the VIX. So it was elevated up here, the election, and now look how VIX has just totally crashed. Looks like it's going to go through the floor. VNQs, what is that? REITs, yeah, no big deal, nothing there. Housing again, yeah, sideways. XLE, oil and gas, look at that. Yellow bar buy signal, box breakout, both times. The first time it pulled back, the second time it went up, and now look here, a white bar sell signal. Oil and gas just can't sustain itself. And it makes sense because their commodity, look at that, it keeps going down. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Oil and gas demand, maybe we'll see lower gas prices, I don't know. Financials up with a little bit of a selling here. And utilities, along with oil and gas, look at that. Box breakout, but no volume, and then funk totally gives it up and goes back into the range. Interesting what's going on with energy, huh? Energy's lagging. I think you'd agree with that, right? Heads nodding. You'd agree energy's lagging? Yeah, okay. Box number 2, textbook box breakout leaders. Okay, We are seeing some signs here. AAOI, pink bar warning signal. This means sit up and pay attention. Does this mean sell your AAOI? No. But it does mean you need to start preparing and make a plan. My plan would be basically, if it hits here, I'm going to sell. Otherwise, stay long and let it happen. I stupidly owned it from here to here, and then I thought it would be prudent in the election to sell it and manage risk, and instead all I did was manage myself out of a much bigger gain. This one, affirm. Look at that. Box breakout just goes up, up, up. AOSL. Okay, I don't know what these guys do, but this one's a heck of an interpretation. Okay, they crashed it down the bottom of the box. The next week, they put out a signal with even bigger volume, so the bulls stepped up and said, whoa, 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 wait a minute, what are you doing here? This is bullish. Now, if you interpreted that correctly, you then bought some, and then you got a bullish yellow bar signal. Look at the volume just exploding here. Then another signal here, and then a box breakout here. You see how the top of the signal, it pushed higher above it each week? Money is pouring into this stock. I don't really know why, but whatever the reason, that's a new box breakout. Very bullish. Here, this one, look at that. Just keeps going higher, bull market. And by the way, look on the left side here. Look at the sheer number of box breakouts in this list. It's just incredible. BKR. This is oil and gas related. Look at that. Look at that dump. So there's your inside bar and dump. Now this is technically a box breakout, but I'm going to move this because oil and gas is starting to struggle. Here we go. Box breakout, a blue bar. That's bullish, but it might see a weak pullback on that. Bros, up, 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 up. Cores. Okay. If you've been long this one, you just got your first real worrisome signal here. It's colored as a hammer, but you could almost argue that it's almost an inside bar. Something's going on. Start getting ready for making a plan here. If it keeps doing worse, what are you going to do? Or maybe it gets bullish. Then you'll be buying it. But have a plan. That's my only point. It's flashing a signal, but we'll see what happens, what the outcome is. This one, box breakout, moving higher. Carvana. Okay. I do put on shorts, but there hasn't been very many on this one in this market. But I did short it again. I shorted it once here, and then I covered because right away it started failing almost immediately. But now look at that. Remember the principle of we have a signal here. If it hits the bottom of that, that's a contra signal to the opposite. So I saw that, and yeah, it rebounded a little. So on Friday, I put a new position on basically at the close. So we'll see what happens. And I don't want to call that an outright bearish thing here, but if Carvana is down again, we'll see. And I'm not expecting this to make a fortune or anything. It's just sort of a form of hedging I do. If you trade on signals, it's a signal. DEC, that's a shooter bar signal. We'll see if there's any bearish outcome on that. In fact, DEC should go into the bearish. Geo, yeah, inside weak, but then look at that sort of shake and bake range. Yeah, you could have sold it here, but if you owned it from way down here, why would you? You'd sort of want to see how it closed the week. Hood, box breakout here, little shake and bake here, but then look at that power. This one, another of the big ones. I bought, I sold for the election, and look at that. Boom, 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 boom. And notice here, bears, people keep getting nervous and selling it, hence the long tails. What do the bulls do? They just keep buying it all up back. Let it happen. Wait until you get a truly valid signal. This is what it looks like on daily. Do you see any valid trading signals flashing? Maybe here, but that's it. See any warning signals here? No, none. None. Sit, don't look at the price, wait until you've got a valid signal. Yeah, I would set like text message alerts like in various stuff, like an alert here, an alert here, but let the text messages inform you. Otherwise, stay long. IoT, yeah, blue breakout, a little pullback, some sell volume. JP Morgan keeps going, box breakout. My dad loves Jamie Dimon. New box breakout in Meta. Whoops. Meta, look at that. Bullish. Boom, boom, boom. And you see there's the bearish signal, but it didn't amount to anything. And then it turns around and goes higher. Look at that. MicroStrategy. No signals. Anything on the daily? There's the big one right here, but since then, apart from this day, it's sort of gone sideways. Now, is it super duper bullish at the moment? No. Like, would you be buying it here? No. Basically, you should have bought it here and be sitting on your butt, letting it happen. Box breakout here. Boom, boom, boom. Volume. Oracle. Yeah. But you see, there's no bad signals. Here's that signal. Bullish signal. What does it do? Triggers and goes higher. The market tells you what it wants to do. The poet. Box breakout. Oh, I don't like that. I still have this. But you see how the volume came in? But it's been doing this its whole time. So now probably from here, it then screws around and goes sideways again and just tortures you. Look, got an uptrend, but it takes forever to go up. Pure torture. Roblox, look at that, box breakout, boom. You had two of them, one here, one here. And what's funny is that short story about the bad things they're doing was in here, and the market said, yeah, thanks, but, it's a bull market. Rubric, I'm long down here, and boom. Well, this one's working out. Not too shabby. I like the volume here. They reported earnings. Reddit keeps going higher. There was that warning week. Boom. Goes higher. It's a bull market. RKLB. Now that's a warning sign. Look at that. Pink bar warning sign. I bought it. I sold it here. Just made a mistake. But look at that. I only would have kept it for a couple more weeks. Let's say I put my stop here, 22. I sold it in the 18s. I might get $4 more. Big BFD. Roku, box breakout. Yeah, it must be a bull market if Roku's going up. SE, breakout up. I mean, you see, this is so bullish. Shop, boom, boom, boom. Snow, boom, boom, boom. Where are the warnings on? Look at Spot go up. Amazing. Square, look at that. Up, up, up. What is that? Tesla. Boom, up, up, up. Now, here is that, see that red volume? You could have sold on this, but just the volume bar itself isn't really a signal, unless it's ginormous, Otherwise, you sort of hold your breath. You go, yeah, great, a breakout. Oh, man, why are they selling? But you hold your breath, and then look at that. The next week's, no, higher, we're good. Yeah, we're good. And then it gets itself, and now it's higher. So just trading off of the volume bar, unless the volume bar is absolutely humongous, I wouldn't do that. VST, look at that. Box breakout. Now look at this. This is getting tight. 2 insides in a row. But what do we know about utilities? XLU. This is a utility. What do we know about utilities? That utilities tried to go higher and failed. And now we're looking at a utility, and we got two in a row. So what are the odds that it's going to go the high side versus the low side? Be prepared for both. That's my point. Be prepared for both ways. Walmart, the king. Box breakout, box breakout, box breakout. If you bought it back here, you'd be sitting so pretty, it's unbelievable. So there's a warning signal right there. That should go in the bearish. But otherwise, still looking very bullish across most stocks. I think you can agree with me on that? All right. Now, list 3. These are bullish stocks, but they're not quite that textbook setup. So Apple, Apple box breakout. Where is the volume? Yeah, you can still make money if you bought it, but this one, the goalposts. What I tell you, when you have goalposts, you're going to be in for a wild ride. Look at this. Went from 80 to 27. Sheesh. Get yourself a barf bag on that. But if you made money, congrats. A-Lab, look at this. Look how many weeks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks. Pretty good. Amazon, powering up. Look at that. Bezos, finally, he sold. They finally cleared it out, and look at it go higher. APP, look at that. Any warning signals? Any sell signals? No. Sit and do nothing. Don't even look at this. Kava. Finally saw a Kava restaurant. I didn't have a chance in the airport, at Reagan Airport. I didn't have a chance to try some, but I finally saw one in person. It looks okay, I hope the food is good. Box breakout, you had the big selling on earnings, but it's sort of recovered, and now, overall demand is higher than supply. So, coin, you had a bearish signal here, an inside bar here. That's why you don't knee-jerk sell it if you can help it. I mean, if you did knee-jerk out, I sympathize, because I've been there too. Use my years of experience. If you can sit, but we're human, Humans make mistakes all the time. So be kind to yourself if you made a mistake. But there's that signal. If you screwed up, well, now you should be long back at around 320 or so. Costco, moving higher. Dash, higher. See that sort of warning sign here? What did it do? It went up in its face. Boom, right there. You think Dash gives a rat's ass about any sellers that show up? No, it does not, because Americans love to pay extra fees to have a sandwich delivered. This is one which I highlighted and I did buy. DJT, my favorite president. 2 inside bars in a row. That means tight, right? And then it triggered right there. Here, let me see inside. See how easy it is to see and get prepared for it? So I bought some. I didn't buy a lot because this one's got a checkered history, but I bought some. I'll play. And it's one which I was able to prepare for well in advance. I set a buy stop, and literally I got a notice while I was up in DC. Ding, you just bought. Oh, I did. And so far, so good. It closed higher. GEV, look at that. The inside weak, sideways. And this is interesting. I got alerts on both sides of this one. It scraped the top, give an alert. Scrape the bottom, give an alert. What's the net result? Well, it closed up. There was no need to sell. GH, I bought some like I said I was going to. I'm hoping that's a decent spot for a long-term hold, but we'll see. I'm really playing GH off the monthly. Right there. Monthly box breakout. and the yellow bar signal. So we'll see. ML, signal, higher, sort of sideways. Stay long. I'm long down here. Netflix climbing higher. What a stock. Look at that. Look at that run. Here, let's get a monthly. Look at that run. Crashed down to here. By the way, here's your signal to buy it if you believe in Netflix. And if you bought it here, there's always a signal. Bought it down here at 200, you're sitting on a 4-bagger. Took a couple years, but easy money. What did we get back on the weekly? Okay. ServiceNow, higher. Software. This is the king of software right now. Look at that. Don't sell the software. This one, Oklo, I really don't know what this is. Boy, this one's all over the map. It gave a signal here, triggered here. To be honest, I don't see many signals in here. Has it formed a box range? Well, I would use this bar right here because, something like that. This one's just a wild child. I don't see. It's a hard one. If you're in it, best of luck. Pan W, box breakout. See right here. Big box, breakout, formed a mini box, breakout. It's a bull market, huh? Okay, the little guys. Quantum. Bull. Look at this. Volume. Do I recommend this? Well, I don't. It's a hard one. Right? A Ferrari. Box breakdown here, and then boom, reasserts itself. If you like Ferrari, buy it now. RGTI, look at this bar. It's a crazy bull market. There's your signal to buy, and look at it now. You'd be sitting on a quadruple. Rivian, crazy ass signal, then a yellow bar buy signal. Now it's moving higher. I traded a little bit, but buy, sell, nothing big. There's the Roku. Oh, wait, I got Roku on here again. Now, I'm not buying Roku, but just noticing it. Root, still going higher, but inside bar. Now, here's the thing. This was a huge yellow bar signal, a huge volume signal. So what do? Hey, this is where I will look at the volume and the bar and be like, yeah, I think we need to buy some. I bought it basically right in here the next week. It's moved up, but you had a chance to buy it here based on that inside bar. And then there was no chances here, but now the market is giving you, if this is a bull stock and if it's going up, the market's giving you another chance to buy at the top here, which is about 105. Set your alert. If it hits 105 or 104, call it 104. Let's see. What's the top of the bar? 103.91. So call it 104. Shit, you could cheat. You could buy it at 103. Don't matter. But the point is, it's telling you that if price goes up like that, it may be poised for more gains. But also, I'm prepared if price crashes downwards, well, then maybe it's going to be time to sell it. See how I'm flexible that way? I've seen the signals. I have a plan for the week. I don't need to sweat things. Just let it happen, baby. What do we got? VRT. There's your buy signal up here. And now an inside week, and it's sort of scraped it briefly. But we'll see what happens. That looks more like it's sideways. So, all right, let's get into the final list, bearish signals, and then we'll wrap. Okay, bearish signals. We know about AOI, AMD. So, I tried shorting AMD here. I covered it, and now I'm short again based on Friday. just because this big bar here, there's no volume here. To be honest, I read an article saying how there's no demand for AMD chips in data centers. So AMD might have a big problem. So I decided to put some on, and also I want a little contra exposure because I got way more longs than any shorts. So ARQQ, another AI stock, but what is that? That is a bearish shooter bar. So the quantums, the little quantum guys, might be hitting their peaks, their short-term peaks for now. But we'll see how the other, what was it, qubits and all that stuff. I can't remember the name. Or, you know, RGTI. That's one of these. Maybe that's a high, and maybe this little mini group is hitting the tops of their ranges. I don't know. ASPI, this one, pink bar signal down. So you see there are some bearish stuff. ASTS, the stock retail loves to love, more sideways, but I don't know. We'll see. Notice here that the moving average is coming together. The Bollinger Bands are coming together. This may have a move upward soon, but I don't know. Another failure. So remember at the beginning, we saw that the breadth indicators went down. Like there were more stocks that fell below their 40-day moving averages. Well, look here, Berkshire. Box breakout, no volume. And then what does it do? It drops and goes thunk back into the box along with selling. This one represents mainstream America. Uh-oh. Is mainstream America beginning to hit the wall? Hope not. Caterpillar. Box breakout, drop back down. Nothing crazy, but failed breakouts, Sell H. Inside bar, 50-50. This is either going to go up or it's going to continue going down. You thought you had a bottom here, but surprise, surprise, surprise. Maybe not. Chewy. Breakout. I don't know, man. Inside and then thunk back down into the range. A little slightly bearish. Yeah, DEC we know about. Dell. Pink bar signal. Then a white bar down signal. Also, you could call this an inside bar. I shorted some Dell. You see how I short based on signals? I don't know anything about Dell, but I do recognize signals. So I placed a contra bet. We'll see what happens. ESTC, big breakout, but then maybe a bearish signal, but I don't know. We'll see what the reaction. I'm not interested in this one either way. General Motors, basically starting to turn. I'll give this one more week. If it keeps going down, I'll keep it. If it starts going back up, I'll take it off the list. GME. I didn't know whether to put this as a bearish or a bullish. That's a bearish signal, and it did trigger, but then it recovered, and that's sort of a bullish signal, but it closed mid-bar. I don't know how to classify that one. That one's totally in between. It does have earnings coming up, so probably it's just, it'll actually make a real decision this week. LMT. There was the bullish hammer, and there's the failure. Doing worse. Look at this. Red, 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 red. Steel. Remember how energy is dropping? Well, steel, pink bar bearish signal. Uh-oh. So now we got demand for, that's Nucor Corp. So now we got demand for oil diminishing, and now potentially demand for steel diminishing. Uh-oh. So you see how there's rumblings? You'd never know it if you looked at the stock price of Oracle. But if you look at the stock price of steel and oil, so I don't know. We'll see. These are warnings, but not prophecies. All right, let's wrap these final ones up. NVIDIA. Signal here, I covered it here just because it kept moving up, and but no position in NVIDIA. But that is also now a sideways box range. I'll give it one more week and we'll see what happens. Probably move it off this list. Qualcomm. I covered Qualcomm and then it ended up with a bearish shooter. So what do? I put it back on again. Shorted it here. Covered roughly at the top of the bar here. Made a few bucks, like 165 to 161. But now, another signal. So what do? I put on a short at the close at 159. So we'll see if that goes down. Oil transportation, tankers. Whoa, signal here. Look at this. So apparently there's no demand for oil products. And this, they do like jet fuel. They're specialized tankers, and I know them because I studied them. They do specialized fuel like jet fuel and everything. Is there no demand for jet fuel? What the hell's going on? So you see, we got some warning signs here about the economy. TMDX. Failed breakout sign, failed hammer bar signal there. Pink bar, many FinTwit people were jumping on the bandwagon here. Well, they're already down, what, 30%, 35%? Yeah, learn to read charts, buds. Look at that. Ugh. Unbelievable. Uber, box breakdown. How many people were expecting that? Look at that. Red, 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 red. Are people taking fewer Ubers? I don't know. Zim shipping, yeah, lower, red, red. So now let's get to the final thing here. S&P 500 update. Latest update, we're at 96.7% reported. The latest update was 3 days ago on December 5th. And we see here the forecast average is 19.7%. That's healthy. However, see right here, in comparison with the prior ones, the near-term quarter dropped 2.83%. Oof. So they keep bidding it up on optimism, and then reality keeps coming in substandard. And, oh, we got to change that color. Forward P, okay, now let's look at valuations. Average market, strong market, and bubble. Well, look at this. On a trailing basis, the last 5 quarters have been in bubble valuation range, which it's a concern, but, you know, until you get a signal, big signal in the indexes, don't matter. Forward Ps are in bubble range. Well, no signals doesn't matter yet. So long as these estimates here stay good, the market's probably fine. If these estimates all get cut bigly, then we need to watch out. So there you have it. We've got strong estimates, strong technology, lots of box breakouts, few sell signals, but in a couple of key sectors, oil, steel, and a little bit of mainstream America, we've got some contrary, maybe negative signals or things to keep an eye on. So what's going on out there? Well, we'll see what happens. But anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.